Okay, so we're gonna get this bumper off of here because that's in my way. We're gonna shorten the frame up just about to there. Gonna remove this temporary bracketry here for the mud flaps, and we're gonna get rid of these running boards. Those were originally mounted to the ambulance body. Check out this fiberglass cab. It looks factory. Isn't that cool? They put a Lexan in here though. This is cut out to fit a Ranger window, so someday in the future I might pick a Ranger window up at a junkyard and put that in there. But it makes it so the seats actually fit back in the cab, more room. So that's pretty neat. Again, that'd probably be $5-6 down at Tractor Supply. We'll keep it on hand. Someday in the future we'll need it. Again, this is just temporary setup to get us road legal to get home. So we'll unhook all this stuff. It's just in the way right now. We'll save these mud flaps. It's good $30 worth of mud flaps. We'll reuse them. Looks like they use stainless hardware too. Okay, so here's the issue we're dealing with. It's flat, relatively, until about here. Then it humps up, and it's higher here than it is here, but this is level with this. So I'm gonna put a piece of rubber on there, and then a piece of channel iron, and then I'm gonna cut the lip off the channel iron so it slides down beside this. I have to cut the lip off until it's about right here. So the way I figured that out is I went down to a local U-Haul dealership and I crawled underneath to see how they did it. And that's how they did it. So I think that's going to work. So I've decided to cut out the hump. So up on the front here, I'm going to taper the front of the bed and put the headed crack up to match the width of the cab, just for looks mostly. I hate seeing a flatbed that sticks out past the cab a ridiculous amount. So 7 inches is the number. Just going to angle like that on the front. On the back here, I'm going to run a piece of big channel to hold my tail lights, and I'm also going to taper the corners, primarily so I don't hit trailers when I'm turning, and also for looks. So the taper on the front happened to be 15 degrees. Do the same thing back here to match it. So 7.5 degrees, cut twice is 15. I'm going to do 20 inches for the bed piece. So we'll cut this, weld it together, weld it on here, then we'll get a straight line and drop cut this. I'm going to put the channel this way so there's some protection for the lights. So the idea is the back bumper at a 15-degree angle is going to catch the angle going down the side, and it's going to catch the boards at the same height as the cross numbers. So I've marked all the spots that need to be ground down for welding, so we're going to get to that.
That's because it's electric.
had some 4-inch here already paid for. It gives me an inch down to the top of the 3-inch, obviously. So if I put like 1-inch oak boards on this, it'd be good enough. I won't have the lip that goes over the top. I'll turn these out, but that gives me a place to hook chains and stuff. So yeah, I think that'll work. I'll get all that marked out for grinding and cut to length and get to welding. When you're working by yourself, it's handy to just take a pair of vice grips and clamp on a piece of metal to act as a shelf. So I probably spent the past 45 minutes just grinding the metal off. It's not perfect, but it's better than welding through rust. So I also decided to put a little bevel on the end here so it's not quite so sharp. It'll look a little better. So we'll get her welded up. Let you take a look at it after that. So I got a couple more welds to finish up here, but for the most part, now I know you're not supposed to weld downhill, but I'm building a flatbed here, not the Eiffel Tower. So I got approximately from the center of the axle to the corner of the bed about 6 feet, which is another reason why I put the angle on here, and I'll show you why. Occasionally I haul a gooseneck trailer for one of my friends. We got a deal going on right now. He's gonna swap me some labor if I haul his equipment around for him, and I've been using my pickup for that, which does fine. But if I have a dually, I might as well use that for gooseneck towing. So after doing a little bit of research, it looks like the 6 feet here is long, but not outrageous. But then I noticed this. Take a look here. The ball's gonna stick up above the flatbed about an inch. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that or not. So I either mount the ball directly to the chassis. All I'd really have to do is cut off probably a ½ inch on both sides, fabricate some brackets up and mount to the chassis, and that would drop it down, you know, 3 inches or so, 2.5 inches, which then the ball would be lower than the bed. But that's a lot of extra work too, so I gotta think about this one for a little bit. And gonna flip this body over and get all the welds on the bottom done. And I gotta cut a hole here for the gas filler neck. Then I think I'm gonna put something here just to dress this up. Maybe a piece of channel iron, then tapered up. Give a good place to mount a light. Gotta cut the holes here for the lights. And then I gotta fabricate a trailer hitch and cut the end of the frame off. So it looks like that gooseneck really isn't the best thing to do right now. So I got to thinking I could make my own gooseneck plate pretty easily by welding a piece of channel iron in here and just basically doing the same thing as that plate out there. I'll sell that one on Facebook. So while this is upside down, I might go ahead and do that. ground a nice good bevel on that, so it gets some good penetration, some good heat in there. So I'll weld this to this first to make it easy, and then I'll go in there and grind all that up and weld it into the frame. So my largest annular cutter is 1 1/16. This shoulder right here is 1 1/4. And I have an 1 3/16 hole saw and an 1 3/8. And 3/8 is obviously a little bit big, but I really don't see that being a problem, especially because we're going to be welding it solid as well as bolting it and welding the nut. So I want to go ahead and use that. This drill is nice that you can use hole saws, but it's definitely not as fast and not as clean as the annular cutters. But unfortunately, it takes me about a week to get those things. So we're gonna do this because I'm in a time crunch. Remember, the wrong oil is better than no oil. You're drilling through 2 pieces. Try to take those out because those will break bits. Man, I tell you what, if you're on the fence about buying one of these things, go buy one. So I got the welds done on the gooseneck ball. And looks like it's gonna sit below the rails, so that's good. Another thing I see on commercially made flatbeds is they put gussets between here and here. And I'll probably do that just on the front because the headboard's being carried up here. But I really don't see the need for that down every single cross member. So again, we'll put a piece of channel, try to catch a couple holes that are already in the frame. Maybe, might not be worth my efforts. Maybe I'll just put one here, drill 2 new holes, and then over the rear axle, that gooseneck hitch will bolt into here 1 or 2 times, whatever I can catch. Looks like I might run into an issue with fuel lines, so I gotta be careful. That side shouldn't be a problem. Ooh, piece of soapstone. I have to cut my hole for my fuel filler neck. I think I'm gonna go ahead and, well, maybe not. I was thinking about buying another one of these, but I don't think it's as bad as it looks. So this is the trailer that I haul occasionally for this guy. And he's also got this flatbed truck. So we're gonna take a look at the gussets if they used them, and we're gonna take a measurement on the neck. So they used a gusset there, and they did like every other one. It looks like they went about halfway up the channel and all the way down the subframe. Oh, this is the dumping flatbed too, that might be why. $7 feet. I measured another trailer at my buddy's house. It was a Kaufman. So I think the Kaufman trailers are a little bit cheaper built, but it was also 7 feet. So I wonder if that's what the industry standard has become. But I have 6 feet to the corner of my bed, so I should be good. So after checking out a couple flatbeds, I'm gonna use this plate of steel, cut it into thirds, cut the thirds into triangles, and I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3 gussets. So that's every other one, just like that truck that I looked at. And then I'm gonna cut the center out of this channel iron to weld onto here. This has to be flat so it clears the leaf springs while the leaf springs travel up and down. So that'll be flat there. I'll use a piece of 3-inch channel up here vertically to mount to the frame. And I think I'm gonna just wait on the back until it's on the chassis so I can figure out the trailer hitch situation. This is another one of those tools that I didn't have for a decade, and when I finally got one, realized I've been living in the past. So fast, so much cleaner cuts. Go buy one. Got the gussets welded in. Did every other one, just like the flatbed we went and looked at. The only reason that I did a full weld on both sides is because I'm gonna sandblast this and either paint it, powder coat it, or potentially even galvanize it, just depending on cost. So I didn't want there to be any exposed seams that could rust and weep out. Side lights, tail lights. Put this filler plate in here and dress it up a little bit. I added a stiffener in here just to give it a little extra. Got the brackets on the front. Put these on. We're gonna wait to do this until get it on the chassis. Welded on some brackets here for reverse lights. So these will mount on here, act as a floodlight. So I have decided to put this on the chassis before I go ahead and fabricate a trailer hitch. Also getting really close to plowing season, so I might not even have time to get the hitch fabricated this year. So I'm gonna get this thing flipped over, throw on an ambulance chassis, and then I'm gonna bob the frame on the ambulance chassis so that we can figure out how I gotta mount the hitch and how I gotta mount this to the chassis, and start working on the headache rack, and then get this off to the sandblaster ASAP. I don't think you could look at me with a straight face and tell me that isn't friggin' sick. Look at that.